What if I told you that Tasha K just flipped the entire love and hip-hop ATL universe upside down and did it with the precision of a sniper and the confidence of a woman holding receipts hotter than the Atlanta sun? Baby, buckle up, because the scandal she just dropped makes Carly Red's age mystery look like child's play. This is betrayal with body glitter. Late-night hotel receipts. Secret texts too spicy for even Siri to read out loud. And Bambi. Oh, she might just be living a whole second life, one that involves young Jock, silk durags, and a whole lot of sneaky situations. And Scrappy. He's somewhere between denial, a paternity test, and a therapy session that even Ianlo wouldn't touch. Tasha K didn't just spill tea, she detonated the kettle, fried the internet, and served it with screenshots, audio receipts, and a smirk that said, "Y'all not ready." And baby, we weren't. Because when she went live, that now infamous live titled Bambis, Secret Nights and Young Jocks, Double Daddy Life Exposed, the internet combusted. Comments flew faster than Bambi's lash glue in the summer heat. From the first frame, Tasha was ready. She looked into the camera like she was delivering a Sunday sermon and said, "What I'm about to share. This ain't just drama. This is betrayal, deception, and baby daddy confusion, all tied up in a lace front and a bottle of Moscato," and boom, the first blow landed. Because when Tasha talks, people listen. And this time, she came armed. iPad in hand, screenshots, queued up, anonymous sources on standby. She didn't blink. She didn't breathe. She just started swinging. First, she took us back to the eternal emotional roller coaster that is Bambi and Scrappy's relationship. 1 minute they're posting matching outfits on Instagram. The next they're unfollowing each other and throwing shade with quotes like "healing in silence." Toxic ain't even the word. Their breakup history alone deserves its own docuseries. But just when fans thought it couldn't possibly get messier, here comes young Jock. Yes. That young Jock. Mr. It's Going Down. The man with more hairstyles than plot lines. A walking meme, reality TV's unbothered uncle with a smirk, and a track record longer than an airport security line. And according to Tasha, Jock and Bambi's connection wasn't just innocent reality TV banter or reunion night flirty vibes. Nope, it was allegedly deep, intimate, and messy as hell, and it started before Bambi and Scrappy officially split. "I got receipts," Tasha said, holding up her iPad like she was presenting to the Supreme Court. Not rumors, not speculation. I'm talking late night, DMS, voicey notes, hotel check-ins, bookings under fake names. This ain't no editing magic. This is a full-blown side story y'all never saw coming. Chat went wild. One fan typed, "Not Jock. Scrappy punching the air RN." Another said, "VH1 better not cancel this. I need the reunion episode now." And Tasha wasn't done. Oh no. She opened a folder on her device, and I quote, titled, "Project Bambi." Inside were leaked texts and voice notes that sent the chat into a tailspin. One message read, "Wish I could sneak away. You make me feel seen. Scrappy doesn't even notice me anymore." Another was a 15-second audio clip, allegedly from Jock himself saying, "Why you playin'? You know I miss you. You looked good the other night." And then Tasha dropped the bomb. That message, it was dated 3 days before Bambi and Scrappy's anniversary dinner. While Scrappy was allegedly out buying her a bracelet and planning a candlelit meal, she was out here texting the homie like it was cuffing season. But wait, there's more. According to Tasha's sources, and yes, one of them claimed to be a former Love and Hip Hop production assistant, Bambi and Jock disappeared for 2 whole hours during an off-camera cast party last year. When they came back, they acted like nothing happened. 2 hours, Tasha said, sipping her wine. That's not catching up on life energy. That's how do you like your eggs in the morning energy. She went even deeper. According to her receipts, even some of Bambi's so-called homegirls knew about the situation, especially Carly Red. Because let's be real, Carly Red knows everybody's business before they know it. Tasha claims Carly kept quiet because she's sitting on the tea, waiting to drop it in her next storyline. She's saving the flavor. And suddenly, the whole cast started looking suspicious. Then came the moment that broke the internet in half. Tasha zoomed in on grainy hotel surveillance screenshots, showing a woman who looked exactly like Bambi walking into the lobby of a boutique hotel in Midtown Atlanta. The man with her, dressed like Jock, walked like Jock, hairline like Jock. Now I'm not saying it's 100% them, Tasha teased, but if it walks like Bambi, and it talks like Jock. The comments section exploded. Twitter caught fire. TikTok creators started reenacting the voice notes with wigs and dramatics. Instagram blog pages couldn't repost fast enough. Even Facebook aunties got involved. Tasha had officially broken the fourth wall of reality TV. But what made it worse, or let's be honest, juicier, was what Scrappy didn't know. Tasha revealed that when Scrappy confronted Bambi about her late-night outings and sudden emotional distance, she told him she was on a personal healing journey. Tasha didn't even blink. "Sir," she said, deadpan. That journey was straight to Jock's condo. Bless your heart. By now, fans weren't just shocked. They were enraged, invested, obsessed. Some were Team Bambi. Some were Team Scrappy. Others were pouring wine and preparing popcorn. But no one was ready when Tasha teased the next wave of the storm. She leaned into the mic, sipped her drink, and said, "Y'all ain't even ready for what I got on this pregnancy rumor. Let's just say someone's baby registry might need a new last name." Mic drop, fade to black. And the crowd, screaming. Just when everyone thought the drama had peaked. When viewers were already dehydrated from all the tea Tasha K had poured, she came back swinging like a woman with nothing to lose and everything to prove. The live hadn't even ended before hashtags were trending globally. And then, like a lightning strike in stilettos, she dropped what would become the second phase of this televised heartbreak, the voicemails. But this wasn't just a leak. This was emotional demolition in surround sound. Let's rewind a second. Remember that moment when Bambi looked dead into camera and, in what should have been a private scene, said, "What if Jock is the father?" That clip alone had the producers sweating, viewers screaming, and Scrappy reportedly walking off set. Everyone assumed that was the climax. They thought that was the grenade. Oh no, baby. That was just the spark. Because Tasha K, never one to hold back, had been sitting on voice memos, text threads, and behind-the-scenes clips that made even Mona Scott Young nervous. And that takes a lot. She pulled up a folder titled Operation Bam. And baby, that thing was stacked like Bambi's highlight reel. First up, a message from Jock himself, allegedly recorded just after a private dinner. The words, "I ain't trying to come between you and Scrap, but I ain't felt this way since, you know, since before everything. Before everything. Sir, everything includes her marriage, her child, her messy storyline, and now we're acting like this is a Nicholas Sparks sequel." But the real gut punch came from Bambi. Tasha hit play on a 17-second voice memo, and the silence in the chat room was louder than church on Easter Sunday. The clip began with laughter, unmistakably Bambi's. Then came the line that left jaws on the floor. "Scrappy busy crying on camera, and Jock calling me at 3 a.m. Life's funny. Huh, girl, that's not funny. That's felony-level pettiness. That's mascara running. Flip table, go silent in the group chat energy." And Scrappy. He wasn't just heartbroken. According to insiders, he was spiraling after that audio dropped. One production assistant claims Scrappy refused to leave his trailer for 3 days. Mona herself reportedly had to fly in early from LA just to talk him down, but even she couldn't get him to film. One overheard quote from Scrappy hit the internet like a slap. "She playing with my whole legacy. My daughter gone, grow up watching this mess. The pain, the public embarrassment, the realization that your wife might be having a secret affair with your castmate while the cameras are still rolling. That's enough to make anybody consider therapy or vengeance." And just when the streets started calming down, when fans were beginning to breathe again, Tasha K, in full villain origin mode, detonated bombshell number 3. A leaked hotel itinerary showing Jock and Bambi booked in the same suite during a weekend in Miami. That same weekend, Scrappy was attending his cousin's wedding back in Atlanta. The timeline matched. Room service receipts matched. Even the timestamps on their social stories lined up like dominoes of betrayal. And the cherry on top, a pink robe seen in the corner of Jock's story, identical to one Bambi wore on a self-care day post the following week. And this, my friends, is where perception becomes proof, because up until this point, it was still possible barely to explain things away. That wasn't her. They're just friends. The audio was edited. But now, the puzzle pieces locked into place, with a click that echoed across every platform. TikTok was on fire. YouTube reactors were making hour-long breakdowns. Fan accounts started posting CSI-style image grids, and the comments weren't kind. One viral tweet read, "Bambi lead. Jock smiled. Scrappy cried. Tasha K supplied. Mona monetized. Bars. Pure bars. Pure bars." But the venom didn't stop there. Tamar Braxton jumped in with a now-deleted tweet. This why I don't get introduced to the homies. Y'all be doing math in bedrooms. Even Black China got messy, posting, keep your lashes long and your receipts longer. Truth will always outshine the edit. Shade, glorious shade, and Bambi, silent. No statement, no clapback, not even a y'all weird subtweet. It's like she vanished, the calm before her own storm, because word on the street is, she's planning her own tell-all. Not an IG live, not a blog post. A full-blown podcast interview with one of the biggest platforms in the culture. Insiders say she's pitching it as her truth, a reclamation of her name. Sis, you don't need a podcast. You need crisis management, legal counsel, and probably a security team at this point. Because the streets are watching, and the receipts keep coming. Jock, on the other hand, stayed loud. Of course, he did. He went live the next morning, silk shirt on, smoothie in hand, playing Confessions by Usher. Sir, the audacity, the sheer performance. He opened with, y'all acting like I'm the only dude in Atlanta. Come on, man. Bam. Groan. Scrap groan. Ain't nobody tripping but the fans. And then he hit us with, I ain't confirming nothing, but I ain't denying it either. That's grown folks' business. No sir, that's reality TV sabotage disguised as grown man detachment. But it didn't end there. Because during his live eagle-eyed viewers spotted a pink designer purse in the background, a purse that did not belong to his fiancée. It was feminine, flashy, and looked very familiar. Within 10 minutes, a fan posted a side-by-side of Bambi holding that exact purse at a Love and Hip Hop after-party earlier in the year. The internet cracked in half. And now people were asking the real question. Are Jock and Bambi still sneaking around, or was this all an elaborate scheme to build a spin-off storyline? Because suddenly, whispers of a new show started circulating, Bam and Jock, a love and hip-hop tragedy, allegedly in early talks. Allegedly pitched to streaming. Allegedly fueled by all this chaos. And if true, that's the biggest betrayal of all. Not just to Scrappy, but to us. The fans. The ones who bought into the emotional turmoil, the breakdowns, the fake, because now, every tear might have been part of a script. And in the middle of it all, Tasha K stood tall, sipping her wine, flipping pages, and whispering, and baby, I still ain't showed y'all the voicemails. Here we are, standing in the eye of a love and hip-hop hurricane, where the wigs are glued down tight but the truths flying off like loose lace in a wind tunnel. Tasha K pulled back the velvet curtain on a mess so deep, so multi-layered that even the cast members are allegedly rewatching their own scenes like detectives. And just when fans thought it couldn't possibly escalate beyond hotel receipts, sneaky D-Miz and Jock sipping smoothies like a villain in silk, she dropped it. The final voicemail, the one she had teased, baited, and promised like a holy scroll of scandal. It wasn't short. It wasn't sweet. It was a monologue of pure chaos. A voicemail allegedly from Bambi to a close friend, recorded in the dead of night, the kind of message you leave when you've said too much and regret too little. The clip opened with Bambi laughing, carefree, like a woman who thinks the cameras are off and her secrets are safe. I don't even feel bad, she said with a shrug. You could hear. Scrappy had his fun. Now I got mine. Jock was just easy. He listens. He don't nag me like Scrap do. The chat imploded. Fans started typing in all caps like their keyboards were possessed. Girl, what? This ain't even betrayal. This is emotional terrorism. One commenter wrote, so, you left your marriage for a man who forgot his own lyrics on stage. And yes, that was about Jock. Tasha didn't just play the voicemail. She broke it down frame by frame like a forensic analyst at a federal hearing. She even brought in a so-called voice expert, Dr. Sherelle, from South Atlanta Sound Lab, who analyzed waveforms and cadence and claimed with a 99.7% match that it was indeed Bambi's voice. Not 90%. Not 95%. Not even 99.5%. 99.7. Enough to throw hands in court and convince even Mona to consider pulling scenes for legal reasons. But that wasn't the punchline. No, that came at the end of the message. After dragging Scrappy, shading Jock's attention span, and rewriting the entire timeline of her supposed healing era, Bambi giggled and added, besides, if I really was pregnant, I wouldn't even tell Jock. That man can't commit to a haircut, let alone a child. Boom. Double homicide. Fake pregnancy rumors, and a shot at Jock's entire existence. Fans went into meltdown. Tasha K didn't even blink. She just leaned in, sipped her wine like it was holy water, and said, So y'all still think this is just a misunderstanding? Scrappy, done. Over it, numb. His response came in the form of an Instagram post, just a black screen with the caption, "Lesson learned. Some people don't break your heart, they break your peace." He unfollowed everyone on the cast except Mama D and his daughter's account. That alone sent fans into full FBI mode. Word spread fast. Allegedly, Scrappy has now teamed up with Tasha K for his own revenge interview. A tell-all special titled, "They Tried to Play Me, But I Wrote the Rules." The working title alone had Twitter foaming at the mouth. Imagine it, Scrappy and Tasha K on the same couch, sipping hot tea and dragging Bambi's entire storyline like a cheap lace front on reunion night. Mona might pass out from the potential ratings, but it didn't stop there. Because while everyone was still processing the emotional wreckage from the voicemail, another name entered the chat. Erica Dixon. Yep, Scrappy's other famous ex. The one with edges laid to perfection and the energy of a woman who's seen it all and said very little, until now. Sources claim Erica reached out to producers directly and offered to return to the show ... but only if Bambi gets dropped. And guess what? Mona is considering it. Because what better way to ignite the next season than by bringing back the original queen of calm shade and silent side eyes? The fans are already salivating. This season, the voiceover would say, "She's not here to play nice. She's here to take her crown back." Meanwhile, Jock, ever the chaos connoisseur, decided to go live again. This time, he doubled down on his nonchalance. Silk Durag on Tupac's hit "Em Up" playing in the background. Smoothie in hand, "Y'all acting like I'm the only dude in Atlanta." Bam, groan. Scrap, groan. "This ain't preschool." Then he had the audacity to say, "I ain't confirming nothing, but I ain't denying it either. That's grown man energy. Sir, that's not grown. That's gaslight wrapped in Gucci." And fans weren't stupid. During his live in the background, guess what made another appearance? That same pink purse. Yup, the very one Bambi was photographed holding back in February. Screenshots flew. Side-by-sides dropped. Within minutes, the timeline was ablaze with theories. Was this a recycled photo op? Is Bambi still sneaking over? Or, and this is where it gets really wild, is all of this a setup for a spin-off? Whispers of a new VH1 project have been circulating. Bam and Jock, a love and hip-hop tragedy. Allegedly pitched. Allegedly testing well with focus groups. Allegedly stacked with emotional mess, petty dinners, and silent betrayal. If true, this is the scam of the century. Because what if Bambi and Jock plotted this entire chaos train to fuel their own storyline? Betray Scrappy publicly, sell the comeback, and cash the check. If that's the case, baby, that's not just reality TV. That's mastermind villainy in heels and hoop earrings. Tasha K, of course, poured more gasoline on the fire. She revealed that one of Jock's assistants DM'd her anonymously and claimed that Jock and Bambi had a private dinner just last week. No producers. No camera crew. Just wine, whispered regrets, and allegedly more than one course served. The location. A rooftop sushi spot, the same place Scrappy rented out for Bambi on their 3rd anniversary. If that's not shade turned to darkness, I don't know what is. And now the fans want answers. Where's the DNA test? Is there really a baby? Who's lying? Who's producing? Who's faking? And is this all part of Mona Scott-Young's long game? Because let's be honest, at this point, even she's acting like she doesn't know what's real anymore. She's reportedly doubling security for the reunion, splitting the stage, and letting all hell break loose. And the promo. Explosive. Sparks flying. Drinks thrown. Tears wiped. One-liners practiced. It's the kind of reunion that needs a warning label. Scrappy, we hear, is already working on a diss track. Yes, a full-on rap roast, titled, BM, Betrayal Ain't Mutual. One leaked verse, allegedly goes, "Wore my ring, then let it dim. Told me you loved me, was texting him, said you healing, but back on sin. Jock ain't my bro if he smashed my kin." Bars, hurt, raw, tragic bars, and Bambi, still quiet. Still no interview. But according to sources, she's waiting for the right platform. One that will let her cry on cue, spin the narrative, and maybe, just maybe, drop a line like "I was broken. I just needed someone to listen." But baby, the only thing people are listening to right now is Tasha K's receipts, and they're louder than any storyline Bambi could manufacture. Voicemails, deleted IG lives, screen recordings, dinner photos, shady purses. It's all archived and ready. And as Tasha said herself, I didn't just expose the lie. I rewrote the whole script. So now the question isn't if it happened. It's how deep it went. Did Scrappy get played for ratings? Is Jock just collateral damage or the king of chaos? Is Bambi truly that manipulative or just desperate for camera time? And more importantly, who's the baby daddy? Fans are done watching. They're investigating. And as we spiral toward the most unhinged reunion of all time, one thing is clear. In the world of love and hip-hop, truth is optional, betrayal is currency, and tears, they're just fuel for the next episode. So stay loud, stay messy, and whatever you do, don't look away. Because baby, the next explosion is already loading.